All right, Adam. The GTAS Awards. I just came up with that.
Yeah.
I came up with it while I was writing the notes for today's show. But the GTAS Awards, the game of the year. So me and you have played you and I have played a lot of games this year.
Yeah.
A lot of the time we're just playing games. We don't even speak to each other. We just have each other on the headset and we'll be like, oh, this game's so good.
Yeah.
You'd be playing Yakuza and I'd be playing Final Fantasy 12 and be like, this game's so good.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, this game is so good. Fuck this karaoke bullshit. Was it the
dancing mini game in Yakuza 0 is a fuck. But anyways.
You bitched so much about that fucking
Dude,
game.
I beat harder submissions in the other dancing missions that were more difficult than this one that's like an early dancing mission that I can't clear. I just can't.
It's so stupid. You'd be flipping. You were pissed off about that.
I'm like,
game.
oh my god, I feel like throwing this fucking controller. Like, if I was 12, I'd probably break this TV.
So, what do you want to go... Do you want me to go through my three, or do you...
Let's just do 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3.
Okay.
And then on.
Okay, so that's good. Okay. Why don't you give me your first honorable mention?
My honorable mention?
Yep.
What do we do? Why are we going backwards? What? You want to build to number 1. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What, are you going to do 1 and then go to the honorable mention?
I guess.
You're the worst type of people that do that shit. Like, when I see a top 10 list on...
And they start with number 1?
Yeah, why would I fucking care? I just saw the number 1. What makes me to... I just saw number 1. Why do I want to see the other 9? Yeah. You just showed me 1. Like, that doesn't work.
I guess efficiency. I'm just...
Too efficient. What video have you ever seen on YouTube or something that does top 10 and then starts with number 1?
None.
Because it's stupid.
Well, I don't know.
It's literally ass backwards.
How many times do you put one of those videos on and then like skip to like the last 2 minutes?
I never do. Because if I plan on skipping, unless the video is like just straight up terrible, and I'm like, all right, fuck it. I just want to hear what they say is number 1. Okay. I've done that maybe a couple times.
That's what I'm saying.
But if I see a top 10 video...
I'm just looking out for the people that think that we're terrible and they want to hear number 1 and just fucking close the window.
They wouldn't be listening to this point. They wouldn't be listening like up to like an hour or so into this podcast.
That's true.
They wouldn't give a fuck.
Right.
Okay. What's your honorable mention? Or fucking hate that. It's the big that. Okay, real quick. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. Is when they start one. I mean, I got a lot of pet peeves. But one of my biggest issues when it comes to online stuff.
Yeah.
Is when they do the top 10 and they start with 1 first. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
And 2, when they make you go through each individual page for each fucking number.
Oh my god, that should be illegal. You know why they do that?
Yeah,
so they get ad revenue from every new page load.
Yeah. It's cheap. I hate it. But okay.
Okay, so my honorable mention is going to be a re-release game. It's going to be Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. I've been playing the shit out of that.
Yeah, you still on that?
Yeah, I'm still playing it. I bought it for my wife, and I was watching her play, and I'm like, damn, this looks really good. And now I'm like 20, 25 hours ahead of her. So. Okay.
So you bought you're almost one of those like people that buy your wife something, but then you're like, oh, I'm gonna play this shit out of this.
Yeah, kind of.
You're a horrible person.
I wasn't intending to do that. I don't.
You just got addicted to it.
Yeah, I don't normally like European fantasy stuff, so like, I don't know. It's really good.
I mean, is it any different? You never played the original?
I did.
Okay.
I hated the original.
What do they do in this one that's so different?
The AI isn't absolutely dumb as shit. That's a plus. I mean, like, character creator was pretty basic. The story seems kind of generic, but the gameplay is really good. So
okay.
That's really what the combat is. I wouldn't say it's innovative in any way. Like, it's a very like generic standard-y type game, but it's a lot of fun. I don't know, I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Okay. Okay. So I'm torn on my honorable mention. Because it's kind of hard to My honorable mention is going to be Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
I'm really struggling because I'm like, shit. It's between the two. But I'm like, which one stuck with me more is like, that was an experience. And I loved Breath of the Wild. Obviously, it's an honorable mention. It's like my fourth favorite game this year. And the one I wanted to put as an honorable mention that I didn't was another one was the Final Fantasy 12 remake. I loved that. That was really fun too. But Breath of the Wild was just such a good game. I loved the art style of it. The music was great.
Yeah.
The voice acting's a little really wonky, hit or miss type of shit.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest, but gameplay's great. It's the open worldness of it is just done very, very well, and it was good enough to the point where I have it on the Wii U, and I played it on that because I couldn't find a Switch, but I just wanted to play the game.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, hey, I want to play, I really want to get a Switch, or I want to really play Zelda, but I'm like, I don't have a Switch, or I don't have a Wii U. And I'm like, and it just so happened that like he was mentioning that, and I found a Switch. So I bought Zelda on it, and I was like, here, just erase my data. I'll start over on the Switch, and I'll just play it again. And I played about 20 hours into that originally. So I had to play 20 hours again, and it was really easy.
You got the special edition one that I got, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I got it from you. And so I had to play 20 hours again, and it was very easy to go through 20 hours of that game. That game is so much you can do. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And my friend, he played it, and he played the shit out of it. I think he played more than I did, but he played on my Wii U, and he didn't notice. So if you have a Wii U but don't have a Switch, it really is not that different to just pick up a Breath of the Wild. I really didn't think it was that big of a difference. Maybe the sound and colors a little.
I don't know why. I got the game and then I immediately lost my desire to play.
Well, you also didn't even have a Switch. You bought the game on the Switch and didn't even.
Because I was planning on getting a Switch, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna get a Switch just to play this game. I lost the desire to play that game.
Yeah.
So.
But okay, that was my honorable mention. It was tough. I really wanted to put it in the 3, but I think the next 3 I just enjoyed a lot more, unfortunately. Yeah. But go ahead. What is your third?
Hands down, Yakuza 0.
Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
I kind of thought Yakuza would be your like 2 or 1, but no, huh?
I don't think.
Oh no, I have an idea what your number 1 is, but number 2 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yakuza 0, man.
I mean, I'm already a longtime fan of that series.
You talked me into buying it because you were showing me all the stuff stuff you can do in it is like.
It's a good series.
It's like Shenmue on steroids.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely not. It's not like a. I'd say it's like a spiritual successor to Shenmue.
Yeah,
it doesn't have the same type of story.
No. I mean,
nearly as serious. It's
just
more,
all the stuff you can do in it.
Yeah.
Like you want to go play darts, go play darts. You want to play pool, go play pool. You can probably beat somebody.
People up in the street with a bicycle. Beat people up in the street with a bicycle.
How far are you on that game, by the way?
I'm in chapter 5. I kind of set it down to.
You set it down for a while. I remember because I was playing it for a little bit, and
that's what I usually do. Is like I'll go back to it and finish it. But yeah, I really love that game. The combat system's excellent. It's got like a really good like level up like progression system. Story's excellent,
and it's prequel to the first one, right?
Yeah. So Yakuza 0 is 1988, and then the first Yakuza game is like 2001 or 2004 takes place in something like that.
Is it based in the time that it was actually released in?
Yeah.
Okay.
1988. Yeah.
No. I mean, Yakuza 1.
The rest of the Yakuza games. I think they're usually like the year before they're released.
Okay.
When they take place.
All right.
Usually.
Okay. My number 2 for the would be. Oh no! Wait, it's my number 3.
You're on 3.
I'm on 3. Nier Automata.
Oh yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know what made me pick that up. Like, you told me to pick it up.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that you've told me to pick up that I'm just like, I buy or I don't pick up and I play. I don't know why I started playing that game. I think it's just because you and Tegan were playing a demo of it or something like that,
Yeah.
and you were just talking about how fun it was, and I was watching gameplay, and it just looked, the environment was really cool. The enemies are kind of shitty in that game, but the
All the
bosses,
designs for the enemies,
yeah,
they're terrible,
the little
yeah.
robot circles,
Yeah, they're terrible.
they're terrible, but the boss fights are great. The characters are really cool looking. There's so much, like the first part of the game is like a 2D shooter, and then it turns into a beat 'em up, and you would hear me over chat how many times, like me bashing these buttons. I was going crazy with it.
Oh my
and the
gosh.
music is amazing in that game. But there are a couple times where I put on, I remember, I don't know if I told you it, but there's a couple times where I put on Linkin Park, like the old Linkin Park albums while I played it, and I turned the music down, and I'm like, this is fucking dope. This is amazing. Like, it just sounded so cool with this like industrial metal, but normally the music, and it's very orchestra style, and it's beautiful. I actually want to get the sound. If they release the soundtrack on like a record, I would get that immediately because it's that good. And there's, the great thing about it is you beat it once, and then you can play as a different character. If you wait all the way through the credits, then you play as another character. Then if you beat it again, you get to play as another character and build through the story and just the backgrounds. It's a beautiful game, and I think it's an underappreciated gem of this year, and probably it's going to be an underappreciated gem for a good while. I'll probably be promoting that game for the rest of my life. That game is great.
Yeah.
Please check out that game. If anyone actually listens to this first podcast, please check out. I'll just throw it at the end of each podcast. Nier Automata.
Okay, you ready for my number 2? I think
Nope.
you're not going to be surprised.
Number 2? What?
Wolfenstein 2: New Colossus.
Oh, I completely forgot that you even had that game. You bought the collector's edition with the little action
Yeah,
figure.
little BJ Blazkowicz action figure. So that game is better than the first one, in my opinion.
And you love the first one.
Yeah, I love the first one. I think after the like negative reaction from like right wingers on the internet, they really like went a step further to really shit on Nazis.
I mean, the trailer was just like, kill a Nazi for, like, that's all it talked about, was just kill a Nazi for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really kind of were like...
It was just
Fuck this.
watching the reaction from like the political right in the United States to that game was a treat in and of itself.
Especially like that, just the awkward level of Nazi rising shit in the U.S. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
But I'm not getting into politics, but what? But yeah, go ahead.
And I think once they had like that initial reaction, they're like, "Oh, fuck those guys," and they doubled down on it like real hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they really. I think they might have even changed some of the things in the game to just make, because they make the Nazis seem like such pieces of shit, and there's so much like hidden stuff in that game.
Yeah.
You can sneak up on somebody, hear two people talking about how their commander has like pedophile sex parties and shit. Like, they really, really like shit all over the Nazis, and they deserve it. They deserve it.
Rightfully so. They deserve to be shit on.
But they didn't do that hard in the first game.
Yeah, they really went
They
hard
really
on it.
went hard on him because of that reaction. They're like, "Oh, okay, that upset you? Well, fuck you. We're gonna troll you even harder."
Good. That's fine.
And the game itself is really good.
It looks incredible.
Yeah, one of the things that they do is in the very first level of the game, because in all the marketing they make it seem like that you've saved Wyatt, and like that's just how the game's gonna go.
Yeah.
So that was like generally accepted as the story canon, but they give you a chance to revisit that choice from the first game at the beginning, so that you can alter the timeline so that it matches your first playthrough. Of the first.
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
Which I thought was good. I mean, I saved Wyatt in the first game anyway, so. That's the only way you can meet Jimi Hendrix in the first game. But yeah, it's an excellent game, and like the last line is fucking amazing. I don't want to just go play.
Eventually, I'm gonna play it. I think whenever it comes out on the Switch, I might grab it. But number 2, speaking of the Switch, is Mario Odyssey.
Again, not surprising. I've heard nothing but excellent things about that game.
And that's the thing. It was like,
let me put it to you this way: this is the first time that I'm excited to play a Mario.
I know
game
you always shit on Mario
since it's just Super Mario 64.
It's just a fun game. It's so like simplistic in its design, but it's so advanced in a design. If you kind of get where I'm going with that, I mean, I have not had so much fun with just a simple sit down and play a game. Now, Zelda is a way more advanced technical marvel of a game compared.
Yeah.
But there's just something about that game that just makes me want to keep playing and get all the costumes, and I just have a lot more fun. And that's a lot of people are like, when I ask people, what do you like more, Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild? A lot of people go Breath of the Wild, but there are still a couple that I've talked to that seem to enjoy it. I just think that you might get pissed off if you, oh no, I'm sorry, Zelda just, I don't think is as fun. This is all just, if you like Zelda more, that's fine. I don't really care.
Yeah.
You like what you want. Like what you do. If you don't like what I like.
You're saying subjectively you feel like Mario's better.
I just had more fun with it.
Yeah.
Whether it's a better game, I don't really know.
That's what I said, subjectively, not objectively.
I just find it more fun.
Yeah.
And so I had more fun with it. And so a game that I think is maybe not as technically superior, but gameplay-wise is just perfect. Mm-hmm. I have to give it. I'm going to give it to Odyssey.
All right. That makes sense.
I'm pretty sure I know what your one is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty...
it's Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, it's Horizon. Definitely it's Horizon Zero Dawn. And I just finished Frozen Wilds, the DLC.
I haven't done it yet.
It's great. It's great.
I haven't done it yet.
Super good.
So, for a game to be a new IP, to have a female character, to not over-sexualize that female character.
Who also isn't just like hey, we're just going to make her a woman just because she's a woman. And we got to make her, like... It just...
She's badass as fuck.
Yeah, she's great. And she feels like a real person.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's extremely well written.
I almost compare her to, like, Rey from Star Wars.
She's better written than Rey.
She's better written than Rey, but we also only had 2 hours with Rey.
That's true.
How much content did we do with Horizon? You did
I think I had like I have more than 40 hours. I think about 60 hours.
Yeah, I probably have I have a little less than you, but I have more than 60 now because of the Frozen Wilds, which is
you have to remember,
it's about 12 hours of content. They say a little
100%ed.
Yes.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
I know, but the only thing I didn't do to 100% it was the hunting trials. I just don't find I don't find hunting trials fun.
Everything.
I don't find shit like that fun. I don't like being set on a timer. I hate it.
I didn't like that part either, but I liked that game so much that I'm like, I want to 100%
the game's amazing looking. It plays amazing looking. The weapons are actually fun. It's one of the few games where I actually use almost every weapon in the game. Mm-hmm. Because every enemy deserves different ways to take it out. And I mean, you can beat them in like shitty ways. Like, you don't have to go about the way that you are intended to.
Yeah.
And it's like, perfect example was there's an enemy, he shoots shit at you like through his like tail or something, or he shoots fire at you. So there's a cliff, and I climbed up the cliff, and I found this nice spot where I can duck behind a rock, and if I'm not careful, I could get hit. But there's just so many ways to strategize in that game, and the game is just gorgeous.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's so beautiful to look at. The character animations are good. The character animations in the new one are even better. They really did they did really good with the facial animations in the new one.
My only complaint with that game is that the NPCs that were like not main characters had kind of wonky facial animation.
I didn't,
but it wasn't nearly as bad as like Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, with the like goofy eyes and bulging out of their head and shit like that. No, I was like looking at that. I was like, damn, that is some gorgeous looking facial animations. And I can tell you that it appears that the story in Frozen Wild, is it Frozen Wild or Frozen
Wilds?
Frozen Wilds actually, I think, does tie into the sequel. It looks like that's where they're kind of gonna go with it. So it's definitely not like it's not a throwaway story. You do get about because I don't do hunting ground shit, maybe I lost a couple hours on it, but I definitely think I got like 12, 13 hours out of it. Out of that.
Out of a $9 DLC.
Yeah, because it was on sale.
Yeah.
I think it was like $14, but still. Either way, it's normally a $20 DLC, which is still relatively cheap for DLC.
But you got to think, okay, if you get 6 hours
they give
out
you
of the game,
new weapons, new armor,
that's true.
New monsters, and a good. I mean, it's not like breathtaking story, but it's good and it has heart, and you're actually kind of invested in the characters, and it's good. I'm very happy with it.
It's a new area on the map too.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. It's about I'd say it's about a quarter size of the original, but it's added to the map, so you can go back and go do all. There's even parts where they make you go back into the original map. Besides the couple times you don't ever go back. There's no need to, because there's plenty of merchants and fire campsites and stuff like that. Yeah, hands down, that's definitely my number one. That is my GTAS award of the year.
Yep, and it's mine too. So
yeah, so there we go.